Nuclear.
Hello and welcome to another installment of the Zionsville Football Fantasy Football League Fantasy Football Podcast. This week brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper, the only fantasy football app made for fans by fans. This is the show where we take a look into the details and going on in this league because we all know our commissioner won't. I'm here with my co-host as usual, Mr. RJ Wagner. RJ, how are you doing on this Thursday?
Ted, blessed to be here. Feel bad we left some potential guests hanging. Yesterday, had some phone issues, wasn't on my computer as much, so was a little behind on getting something scheduled. But we're here early on Thursday to get it out, get the lines out, get this podcast out before the Thursday night game. Big week. For half the league, really. Big week for half the league. The other half, not so much, but excited to get going.
I think it's a huge week, but before we talk about this week, we got to talk about last week. And why don't we get right into our battle, the co-host battle. RJ, you beat me 127-98. I thought it started on early Thursday. A lot of games. Amon-Ra got hurt first quarter. Was it the first drive? I don't know. But Zay Flowers said, you know what? I got your back.
Yeah,
Thursday
I'll do
night,
one better.
Negative 0.4 points. I don't know how that's possible in any PPR league, how a wide receiver can get negative points. But Zay Flowers said, I'm going to do it. But guess what? That did not matter. They were neutralized, but I couldn't overcome less than 5 by ETN. Packers D only getting me 3. While on the other side, you had Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, and Jason Myers showing out. Those 3 combined for almost 60. Not 60, almost 50. That was really good. Otherwise, you didn't really have any duds besides Zay Flowers, and that was the difference in this matchup. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, knew going into this after, was it last week Jahmyr Gibbs had his 49 or 45?
I think so.
I knew that he was probably not going to do that again. 10 is definitely on the lower side for him. Zay Flowers, I think it was 2 catches for 6 yards and a fumble. I think that's what his stat line was. That Ravens offense is a mess. We said it, Lamar should just shut it down after he was the video of him high as hell at the whatever food truck. He's lost his accuracy. He's lost everything. He hasn't ran as much. He's a little bit bigger now. So I had that. Yeah, Bo Nix 18, not great. But yeah, Rashee Rice with 25.4 being my leading scorer. That now is 6 straight weeks with a new leading scorer on my squad. Let's go back. Week 8, Daniel Jones. Week 9, Devontae Adams. Week 10, Devon Achane. Week 11, Brock Purdy. Week 12, Jahmyr Gibbs. And now 13, Rashee Rice. Excited to see who it could be next week for me. I really hope that the train keeps rolling and it's someone else. So I got to make sure I have a new person in my lineup that could score high. But yeah, great performance overall. ETN and Tyler Warren in the Packers D. That was really the difference there. Glad I could get a win. Ted, sorry to put you down there and worrying about this week. But yeah.
No, I think you made this is a real push. You're showing the league, especially Jason Myers, really. You have that every position can be position 1 of the week on your team, which is scary. And let's go to scary in another way. We were talking about Lamar Jackson. Is Trevor falling off? Jack beat him 103-91. Really, not a great showing by either team, but Trevor should really be scared. Won't get into next week, but he won't have CMC. And CMC only put up 15, which you think, oh, that's still pretty good. CMC has to carry Trevor's team. Same with Puka, who only had 10. Lamar, like you said, I'm pretty sure he started vacationing with Zion Williams. They both put on 50 pounds. Looks disgusting. But Derrick Henry might be back. He might have to carry that offense because no one else will. CD with 20. That Dallas offense looks good. Breece Hall also not performing like doo-doo. But, RJ, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think if you go back, listen to the podcast last week and the preview, we talked about it pretty extensively with Trev, Lamar and Dak Prescott. We said it over and over again, and Trevor even, I think, drunkenly might have said it a little too often. Just, RJ, you have some great points about, maybe starting Dak Prescott because who are Jack's highest hitters? Probably CD and maybe Jake Ferguson, and you could negate both of their points by starting that quarterback. So if Dak does terrible, those two guys did terrible. And what do you know? If you look at it, if Trev started Dak, he would have won. That pretty much solidifies him in the third place spot and no bye. I believe he'd have to win, Chase would have to lose, and he would have to outscore Chase by 80 points. So he's pretty much locked into that 3 spot now because of it. Yeah, we'll get into it in the preview, but CMC's out. I mean, it doesn't matter because he's locked into that spot, but CMC's out this next week on bye. If Trevor was in a must-win spot, I don't know that he would feel comfortable whatsoever.
No.
Just Devonta hasn't done what he's done. I say it every week now. I just think fantasy-wise, Devonta Adams is the higher receiver than Puka. I don't think that's crazy to say. Trey McBride's fantastic. Kenneth Walker has a timeshare in that backfield. Just not a lot to like from the lineup. And then you pretty much hit all the points that I was going to say for Jack's team. Overall, pretty solid. Down week for Pittman. I've said it. I mean, I said it earlier. Jack should have traded Jake Ferguson a while ago. I just don't think he's that great of a tight end when you have CD there. But yeah, good win for Jack to solidify him in that 4 spot. I'm pretty sure he's all locked into that 4 spot. So
yeah, that was momentous for Jack. I know everyone was rooting for Jack to lose so that we could have some real spice coming into the last week, but here we are. But nevertheless, we'll keep rolling. Let's talk about a matchup that everyone loved to see. Monte on a 3-game win streak beat Kevin, beat him down, whooped him. It was like Monte held him down with his boot to his throat and said, stay down there, little bitch boy. Because, oh my gosh, did Monte do a great job. He had the highest 2 scores, Bijan and A.J. Brown. Kevin just had dog doo-doo after dog doo-doo. JSN with 3, Dallas Goedert with 4, Devin Neal. I think Jack said it best. Imagine starting Devin Neal in an 8-man league. But RJ, there's a lot to say about this one. I'll let you, just get into it.
Yeah. Bink gets the win, even though he didn't start a top 15 scoring quarterback this week. And listen to what I say, top 15. It's not that he was –
and who's his quarterback?
It's not like he was a top 6 quarterback.
Who's his quarterback?
Top 15. It doesn't matter that other guys weren't started. He got the win without having a top 15 quarterback and scored 134.
That's scary.
I think it was fun cheering on the Bink when he had no wins. But now that he has a realistic –
you're worried
to make the playoffs, I'm worried. I do not want him. I do not want any more. Like, I've had enough. I do not want to.
You would love to see Kevin over Monte in the playoffs.
Yeah. I do not want to see this team, A.J. Brown scoring 30 for him in a week that he actually started him, because that's been the Bink's kryptonite, starting A.J. Brown, and he does ass, benching him, and he does fantastic. Emeka Egbuka, I think I saw, he has had single-digit fantasy points in his last 6 of the last 7 weeks. So that's some cause for concern. Gonna have to manage through that. Bijan's looked fantastic, just like RB1 should. Travion Henderson, very confusing backfield. I don't know if you saw the workload with Ramondre Stevenson. It was pretty split. So 10.1 is a pretty lucky, I would say. And then RJ Harvey owning that Denver backfield.
That was a huge managerial move by Monte picking him up.
Yeah, is huge. So I think, his team's scary. Kev's team about the opposite. He was saying, when did Cincy and the Ravens play?
Thursday night.
It was Thursday. Okay, yeah. So Thursday, Kevin was saying that Joe Burrow QB1 solidified, but he was outscored by Jacoby Brissett. So is that really solidified?
He's at least QB4.
Yeah, he's at least QB4. And Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown not getting in the end zone sucks. I mean, we talk about Trevor getting ridden by CMC. Kevin needs JSN.
Yeah.
Another initial guy. CMC JSN. He needs him to perform. I saw Kevin drop to Dallas Goedert, that huge trade that he had with you.
Trade piece.
Yeah, huge trade piece. Dropped.
He did Javonte Williams for a bench player and someone he dropped.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's kicking himself for that trade right now, especially that he had to start Devin Neal in his flex. But Kevin's still battling. So obviously he wanted that win bad. Losing by 53, not good in a desperate need position and on a 5-game losing streak. So.
Yeah, and one thing also just to say again about the Bink, we've said that like Josh Allen needs to play like Josh Allen. Getting this huge win with Josh Allen doing all right, that is going to be scary if he does pick it up.
We've said it. This just proves that the Bink, I honestly think he gave up. And I think if you asked him, the light was very dim.
I don't know. I think
he wasn't making moves. Like he wasn't picking stuff up. And now all of a sudden he's making 5 transactions a week. Like the last 2 weeks. I think he packed it in for the year and his players showed up and then he's like, oh shit, I'm here. I think what I'm trying to say is if he had this effort, even when he was getting his ass handed to him, if he made some trades, I think he would be, call me crazy, I think he'd be battling for a buy spot. I mean, I know his team's great. Yeah, it is. And the only reason that he's still in the last place game is because he never traded Bucky, is because he didn't make any moves. And if he did, he'd have that solidified playoff spot right now. And I already know if he was on the podcast what he'd counter with, and he would say, well, I don't think I would have that firepower right now if I traded.
That's what I'm saying. I think you've got to come into the playoffs thinking, I'm here to win. And Monte saw his roster and thought, buckle down. If I make the playoffs, I have a chance to win. But if I make the playoffs with a bad team, what does that get me? Monte's an all-or-nothing guy.
What I'd argue is I don't think you're trading Bucky away for nothing. I don't think you're trading A.J. Brown away for nothing. I've offered him some pretty good players. I'm pretty sure I offered Rico Dowdle for A.J. Brown straight up. That wasn't accepted. I think Rico would have given him wins at those spots. So now I guess that wasn't a good point because Rico is in a split backfield now. But I think he probably could have traded Bucky for like a Javonte Williams with how willingly Javonte's been traded away, I think he could have got Javonte for Bucky pretty straight up, or maybe even gotten an extra piece in there. And that is a great spot that still would be paying dividends to this day. And Javonte would have easily got him a few more wins in the middle of the season. The Bink's definitely lucky to be in the spot that he's in right now. Mm-hmm. And once you make the playoffs, anything can happen. Mm-hmm. We saw that firsthand with Kyle losing to Trevor last year in the championship game. The Bink needs a little help, but really doesn't need much. And after this win, he's pretty much there. We'll talk about what he needs, but I think he is sitting in a better spot than one particular 5-win team. So I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's keep rolling on. Let's talk about another 4-win team. Chase told everyone, I'm not slumping. Ugh. He put up 139. Kyle put up 122. Beat him. This was tough for Kyle. This was almost a must-win game for Kyle. He did well. I forget if Trevor said he got an unlucky loss, but this is definitely unlucky. He had Nico Collins.
Third of the year, or third straight maybe.
That's tough. Nico Collins with 19, Bowers with 20. Even Quinshon Judkins bounced back with 14, but just not enough. Looking at Saquon, that's just got to be so disappointing to see him not even get 6 points. And then Chase, on the other hand, Mahomes on Thanksgiving really handed him a nice cushion with 37. He had a few duds with Diggs and Metcalf, but otherwise his team took care of business. And really, I think he made a great move. I think he's been listening to the scouting department, because the Seahawks D against Minnesota putting up 30, that's crazy. And that's definitely a game changer. That definitely won him this matchup, because I don't think most defenses put up over 18 like that.
Yeah. 87 points from Mahomes, Vidal, and Seahawks. And Vidal was – I'm pretty sure I said it on the podcast. I don't know if I texted it to someone.
Did you drop him this week?
I dropped him, yeah, because of Ovarian, and then Ovarian was out. Backups are, I think, just a must start. And I thought Vidal was done, but this week apparently Ovarian cancer should be coming back. It's good to see that, I guess, but yeah, 30 points from the defense. There's one of these guys every year, and this year it happens to be Kyle. You just can't do anything right. I'm sick.
He did. He played the Jaguars defense, who had 15. You got to.
No. By that I mean you can't. The unlucky losses, like
you did everything right. It's still not enough.
You're meant to be, like, God decided you're meant to be in this last place game. It's sickening. I'm sick because I've felt this. I've felt this 2 and 3 years ago. I'm pretty sure, like 2 years ago and 3 years ago, I think, maybe 3 and 4. I was in the last place game, both, or battling, and I was like middle tier and points scored, and it's gross. This is the type of season, fantasy season, that you're just pissed off every Saturday. I think that's why Charity wants to work Sunday nights. Sleeps all Sunday and doesn't have to be around me, because she knows that it can dictate my mood. Little does she know that this year it's just been a great year for me, and sometimes I don't even have to watch because I'm just sweat free. But like Kyle, like it's just like it's numbing at this point. It has to be. And I feel like we haven't even gotten, like, Kyle hasn't expressed it in the chat. Like, maybe someone needs to check on Kyle, because I think he's gone silent. It's been so painful. You know what I mean?
I think he's kind of losing himself in this stat work. He said he was going through over 500 simulated outcomes. I think he's kind of losing himself in the, like, at least I have it. Like, maybe I have a chance. But then you look, and he's 5th in points scored, but can never seem to get a win.
if I'm him and I see where Jack is, I would be so pissed off. And I guess let me finish up this. Sucks for Kyle. Bowers with 20 and getting the loss. And it's not like Chase has got the 7-0 in the breakdown, but his team didn't go crazy. I mean, 37, 20, and 30 from 3 guys. And then you had 13 from JT. That's not great for JT. 14 for Jamar. Pretty good, but I mean, didn't get in the end zone, and then single digits. So nothing crazy. It was those 3 power performances. And yeah, Saquon, like you said, and Boswell. But I'll go ahead and get into this. So we'll get into the breakdown.
We going right to the breakdown now? The breakdown.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go right into the breakdown.
Okay. So.
Oh, I didn't realize Kyle is 4th in the breakdown.
Yeah. I guess I don't know where to start. Since we're talking about Jack and Kyle, I'll just talk about Jack right now. He's the luckiest team by far this year. And points scored is well in last by 22 points scored, less than Kevin. And then his points against is also last, second to last now? Oh, it's second to last. I thought it was last time I checked. Second to last, which it's almost even, like, is points for and against. And it's so crazy because usually it makes sense. If you're one of the higher points for, you're going to have a lower points against because you don't play against yourself who has scored the most points, right? For Jack, that's just not the case. Lowest points for and second lowest points against. It doesn't happen. That has never happened. And he is 7-6 this year with 1 more game to play. Okay. Last year, his record, I'm giving you his record year by year since joining the league. This is a testament to, yes, there's a little bit of, he's good. Okay. He's consistent, but 30% of these years, he's had situations like this, which is a lot for how often, like, it's supposed to happen. This is very rare. 7-6 with 1 game to play. Last year, he was 5-9. Okay. That is like the one dud. Year before that, 9-5. Before that, 8-6. Before that, 9-5. Before that, 8-5, because there's an extra game now. Before that, 8-5. Before that, 8-5. Before that, 6-7. And before that, 7-6. So he has been consistently pretty darn good in this league. But for how many of those are flawed because he is so, I don't know. He's gotten so lucky. I don't know how to.
I think he hasn't had a great team. He's just had not bad teams.
But I mean, 9-5 is great.
9-5 is pretty good.
Like that's very good. 8-6 is pretty good. It's in the top half of the league.
7-6 is pretty good, and look where he's at.
Yeah, it's baffling. He has gotten so lucky, and I think, I don't know what to think. When I was going into these stats, it pissed me off. And I have just a few more stats, I guess, not stats, league history that we could be seeing before the, I guess, breakdown. But we've talked a lot about Division, or maybe just me, Division II's higher dominance this year. Mainly Division I didn't have anyone over 500, but now Jack is. But Division II has 1, 2, 3, and then Monte hanging out at 8. But in 2022, the dominance of Division I was completely forgotten about. I urge you to look into the history if you
Completely forgotten.
Huh?
Yeah.
Division I in 2022 had seeds 1, 2, 3, and 4. I did not. I that was blown. Did we have the podcast in 2022, or that not start until 2023?
This is, I think, 2023.
Was the first year?
Third season.
Yeah, so that makes sense why it wasn't talked about enough. But Jack finished 4th in that division at 8-6.
Wow,
that's pretty wild. While I finished 1st in Division II at 6-8. I thought that was a crazy stat. Going into this week, I guess I might as well mention this before we get into the numbers of the breakdown. But if I score 69 points this week as a team, I will be the highest scoring team ever in this league, which was two years ago. Chase got 1768, and I'm at 1699 right now. So I would love to be the first team to have over 1,800 points scored in a season. That would be really cool. Kevin, if I beat him by 30 this week, then my point differential for a whole the whole career in our fantasy league will be at 0. I started this season at minus 224, and I'm currently at 194, positive 194. So I need 30. Yeah, I need exactly to beat Kevin by exactly 30. And I have still scored 100 points a week.
Every week.
And if I do it this week, I'll be the first team to ever do it. So yeah, I'm career came into this year at minus or under 11 games under 500. If I can win this week, then I will be 3 games under. So those are some positive things for me. And now just get into this breakdown. I'm here at the top, 59-32. And then Chase with a 7-0 week this past week goes a pretty big lead ahead of Trevor, who went 1-6 last week, 6 games over. Chase might have one of the craziest breakdowns I've ever seen. So he's had one 5-2 week. Okay. Right with me. 1 5-2 week. Okay. Say okay. Say okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
He said 1 5-2 week. Besides that, he's been at the top. He's been in top 2 in our league or bottom 2 in our league every week. He has either been 7-0, 6-1, or 1-6, 0-7 every week. Besides that 1 5-2 week, he has had 0 2-5, 0 3-4, 0 4-3, only 1 5-2. That is unbelievable. You're either going to get the top of the top or the bottom of the bottom playing him.
I think that makes sense. For his team, I feel like it's just such a top-heavy, needs some people to go off. Or if 3 people don't, you got nothing.
That is so wild because I guess I didn't even look at my own. I'm pretty sure I've had 1 2-5 week. And then I've never been 1-6 or 0-7. But I've been like a lot middle and then high and middle and then high. But Chase has just been high or low. It's interesting. I would love to go back. Well, actually, breakdown isn't a historical stat. I wish that was something that they kept in the history books, but they don't. I'd love to see where based off of the history of the breakdown for the season, where that matches up to how the playoffs go. But next Kyle, 4-3 this week. Just, oh my God, makes me absolutely sick. Still positive in the breakdown. The Bink goes ahead of everyone in the bottom 4.
The trash pile.
Yeah, in the trash pile. Well, technically, Jack isn't in the trash pile, but he's in the trash pile of the breakdown. And
I'd say Jack's 6th in the breakdown and last in points scored. Jack deserves to be at the bottom.
And he is locked into the 4th spot. Crazy. And then Kyle's 4th in the breakdown and very much in the last place game. So yeah, Jack's 1 game behind the Bank. You're 1 game behind Jack, and then Kevin is 2 games behind you. A 4-game difference between him and the Bank, and a 13-game difference between Kevin and Kyle. Just so brutal. And with Kevin, you look at his breakdown, and it's
disgusting.
It's a 3-part story. Okay, it's like a play with 2. What are those
tragedy.
Called? No, I just meant 2. What are the breaks called?
Intermissions.
It's like 2 intermissions. Start of Kevin's year, shit, right? The first 4 games, terrible. 2-5, 1-6, 2-5, 1-6. Those were his breakdowns in the 4. We call them out. Terrible. Intermission there. And then the next 4 games, Kevin goes 6-1, 5-2, 7-0, 5-2. Fantastic.
He's a wagon.
He's itching for a bye right now. After that, absolutely wagon. Intermission, and then actually no, 5. There's 5 games there because he was also 4-3 after that. Intermission, and then the next 4. 0-7, 0-7, 2-5, 0-7. So it's 4-5-4. So maybe now Kevin's starting the next intermission there because it was 4-5-4, and then what would it be? 1, 2, 4-5-4-4. Maybe his last 4 are going to be good, but
you just got to make the playoffs and get hot. But with Devin Neal, Jacoby Brissett,
pass, huh?
I was just with Devin Neal, Jacoby Brissett. Are they the players?
Yeah, I don't know if that's who he sees as his
nobody
guys.
deals with injuries like Kevin. Let's just throw it out there. Nobody deals with injuries like Kevin.
No, if he loses or if he gets in the last place game, it's definitely not because of his terrible team. It's because of his injury luck.
Yeah,
bad.
Well, why don't we? You got any more on the breakdown?
Nope, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back with the Week 14, last week of the regular season preview. We will be right back.
So, there's a lot of gay people out there talking to gay people about being gay. But we are a group of straights. And we're here to say that we're okay with people being gay. Does it really matter if your guy friends like guys over girls? I mean, doesn't that kind of just leave more girls for you? And furthermore, we're not going to let anybody say anything bad about anyone ever again in the history of the world.
And we're back. We've got the Week 14 preview, last week of the regular season. Things are about to get spicy. There is a lot at stake. As we talk through each matchup, maybe talk a little bit about where everyone else is. We did have the stat man available yesterday, but to unforeseen circumstances, I think RJ got swatted based on his views on redistricting, which was really rough for him. But I would love the stat man how much percentages go up and down based on each win, but I feel like for the bottom 4, you gotta win. Even I think for Kevin and I, because Monte and Kyle are good teams, they could both win. Things could get crazy. But let's get into the Week 14 preview. I think we
Wait.
got
One thing that I didn't even look at, Ted, you are 4th in points scored.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know that it was surprising.
You've had some bad luck too.
I think I've done well when everyone else did well, but I don't think I've scored below 90 like most teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I've been at the bottom of the breakdown, it's been a week where I've had like 105 and everyone else had 120.
Wow. I didn't even realize that. We've focused so much on Kyle, and you're 1 game above him.
Yeah.
But still only 23 points above him. But your points against. Yeah, wow. Interesting. Sorry.
It's been a wild season, just.
Yeah, it has been.
Critics thrown all over the place. Quarterbacks mean nothing.
Wow, wild. All right, sorry. Let's get in as we begin the preview of Week 14 of the 2025 ZFFFL. I must remind you of a great sponsorship over at our ZFFFL, A6 Sportsbook, A6 Footwear. Let's just get into the preview. Let's go.
All right, let's get into the preview. Let's talk about one of the smaller matchups, a matchup that doesn't, like in the grand scheme of odds, doesn't mean too much. I'm playing Chase. If I win, it would be huge. I think that'd be a guaranteed playoff spot. If Chase wins, there's a chance. If RJ loses and he outscores him by yada, 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 who knows? But I feel like this one's a little not as much on the line. But for Chase, I think it's that same thing. Oh, hold on. This is sponsored by Betsy Ross. This is the Old Glory matchup. Because these teams I started out hot. I think I was 3-2 to start, and I have been 2-6 since. And Chase started out so hot going 7-1. And he's been 2-3 since. But yeah, can Chase get back with Mahomes, JT, and Jamar? Can they relive their glory days? But will DeAndre Swift, DK Metcalf hold him back? And for me, it's the same old stories. I'm loving the Goff, Amon-Ra stack if Amon-Ra can get out there. But Javonte Williams on Thursday night with those Lions, that could be a huge night or a terrible night for me. But RJ, what does the A6 Sportsbook think on this one?
I did just see that Kevin dropped Isaac Tesla if you were interested in picking him up if Amon-Ra doesn't play. What would need to happen for you to be in the last place game?
I think if
you would have to lose, I would have to lose, and Monte would have to win.
Yes, and I think maybe Monte would have to win and beat me in points scored, and he's like 20 behind, 20 or 30 behind. Gotcha. I think it's something like that.
So there's still some at stake. But yeah, Amon-Ra's projected 0. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I think he's been day to day.
I mean, he plays today.
It's a day 2 today.
So you might need to, you should probably keep an eye on that. Because I was just looking at the projected points. This matchup gets started with Jameson Williams is back in Chase's starting lineup after he started him scoring 0 and then benched him last week, and he got 23 points. Diggs, Kittle, and Wan'Dale Robinson on a bye, really just Diggs and Kittle. No ovarian cancer in his lineup right now. I'm curious to see if he's going to keep an eye on that, maybe plug him in for DK or DeAndre Swift. That Swift Manungai.
Crazy.
That carry, whatever, share is brutal. I think that would suck to have both of them.
It's like Gibbs and Montgomery last year.
Yeah. So interesting to see what he does there. Wide receiver just looked too good. JT really needs to get back to Like the RB, like the 3 touchdown a game JT that he had in the earlier part of the season for him. Not only, I mean, he doesn't really need it this week, but you love to get a head start going into the playoffs, right? I mean, he's most likely gonna have a bye, Chase, and he's gonna bench his guys next week. You'd love to get maybe a good clean 20 from JT this week going into the playoffs to know that he still got it. Ted, for you, you get started with Goff. Wow, this is going to be a big day.
Yeah.
Bates and Jameson for Chase, and then you got Goff, Javonte, and Amon-Ra maybe, and Brandon Aubrey. This game might be decided tonight.
Yep.
Your running backs look great after that trade for you. You only have Juwan Jennings on the bye. I love your team this week. Chase's team is just better. I mean, in a week where we have the bottom 4 needing wins, they're all none of them are facing each other. They're all facing the top 4, right? I feel like it's kind of predictable where this is going to go. The sports book might be a little closer than what you think. Chase is -4.5.
Wow.
I don't know what were you expecting if you had to put a line out there?
I was thinking Chase by maybe 6 or 7. I think Chase by a little bit more, just based on how he's done.
Yeah,
and he's had some down weeks, but how he did last week, I think, inspired a lot of confidence. But I think his matchups are going to be tough, but because Mahomes, the Texans' defense looks pretty good. Jonathan Taylor, the Colts have always struggled in Jacksonville. I think there's just some matchup problems. Even Jamar Chase against the Bills. Who knows if Joe Burrow
in the cold weather
in Buffalo in the cold weather could go 2 ways. But I think after last week, I think ASIC Sportsbook is really betting on a lot of recency bias going on. I think I'd take myself with that, just based on those on a little bit of matchup problems. But I know the ASIC Sportsbook really is the way the lines are so reactionary. The public is trying to think, whoa, Chase put up 140. But I think I would take myself with those.
I like it.
Well, all right, moving on to the next matchup, and all these matchups are big. This is the Roman Empire, How the Mighty Fall matchup. It's last year's championship game, Trevor versus Kyle. Trevor has not been that hot recently. Was looking for the bye, now has no chance. I think, does he have any chance for a bye? And then
you would need to him win, Chase lose, and outscore Chase by 80.
Yeah. So basically no chance. He was looking
he'd need a 180 and Chase to score like 100.
And then Kyle needs the stars to align. But he has just not been lucky here. His season is hanging on a thread. I think if Saquon can maybe come back and make a push and be the 2,000-yard rusher, I don't even know how many yards he has. I don't even know if he's going to get 1,000. I might be a little worried by the Raiders in Denver. Or no, they're playing at home. The Raiders playing Denver. Denver's defense is looking good. But I love George Pickens. He has been everything for that Dallas. And then for Trevor's got so many question marks. It's like he's the Riddler. Because Lamar Jackson, I don't know why he wouldn't play Dak Prescott. And with CMC out and you say Poopa, I don't know. This one looks pretty winnable for Kyle. But what does the sportsbook think?
Yeah, Devontae Adams, though, he's still day-to-day with a hamstring issue, so Puka could be having a big week. Get started tonight with George Pickens. Believe that's the only one. And then a lot of Monday nights, Herbert, Saquon for Kyle, and then for Trevor, Devontae Smith, Cameron Dicker. I would be shocked if we don't see Dak in the starting lineup by kickoff tonight. I don't know why he wouldn't. seeing Woody Marks in a starting lineup at this point in the season, I think is pretty brutal. A lot of question marks. Devontae. I mean, without CMC, what is Trevor? That's just that's what this is. And Kyle right now needs a win. You know, he's fallen unlucky. The tide has to turn. I mean, you would think, right? It can't all go bad for him. You're right in thinking that Kyle has a chance, and according to the sports book, he has more than a chance. It's Kyle minus 2.5.
Ooh, wow. I think that's pretty easy money to take Kyle there.
Yeah.
Because I think Trevor's team is just on there, like, no CMC. Lamar is basically – I would take Kyle Brosmer over Lamar, or Max Brosmer. I'd take Kyle Bowler over Lamar at this point.
I'd take Kyle Moeller.
Yeah.
You said Bowler, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You said Moeller, and then I just repeated what you said.
No. But I think this is a very winnable for Kyle, and depending on how things turn out, he may or may not make the playoffs, but this would be one where he's got a fighting chance. And talking about one where you might think he doesn't have a fighting chance, this is the Spirit Halloween Is It October Yet matchup, because Kevin basically won all his games in October. He is hoping for this to be a recreation of that. It's a huge week for Kevin. I believe for some reason, he has quarterback 3, but he's insisting on putting Joe Burrow in, and the rest of his team. Devin Neal is still in that lineup. He's got Justin Jefferson back, but who knows with 9 throwing to him or whoever will be throwing to him. It's looking rough for Kevin. And then everything, like you said, RJ, I think Adams and Olave have a little bit of injury trouble, but your team needs to take care of business. It's a deep team. Guys can step up. But what does the sports book think against this David versus Goliath matchup?
Yeah, no Dowdle, no Purdy for me. Don't know if I would have started them. Kevin has no Tet. And I get started tonight with Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think we finished this one off Sunday with Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice, and that's it. Kevin's all 1 o'clocks, and then Josh Jacobs and his kicker at 4. The last 4 weeks, Kevin in the breakdown is 2-26. The last 4 weeks, and I am 25-3. You pretty much hit the nail on the head. David versus Goliath is what it feels like. I feel like Kevin's going to bring a really big motivational speech to his locker room tonight before the first game, because I know how bad he needs a win, how bad he wants a win. Brenton Strange in his starting lineup, not Dallas Goedert, like I mentioned, who he traded for in that blockbuster trade, but he is starting Justin Jefferson, and currently Devin Neal. He needs JSN. He needs JSN to go off, Joe Burrow to go off, to throw some touchdowns to Chase Brown, really. And I mean, there's a shot there because the Bills' defense, it's not like they've been great. If we can get a high-scoring game there, then that's what he needs. Who's the quarterback for Minnesota this week?
I think it's that Brosmer guy.
Again, didn't he throw like 5 picks or something?
I don't think they have any else. It might be J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy is practicing.
Okay. Yeah, he'll need something from him too. My team just, like you said, there's some injury problems. I don't really know still what I'm going to do at wide receiver because Drake London isn't practicing. Don't think he'll play. My only other bench receiver that I have is Zay Flowers that I picked up again after dropping him. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know Kevin is gonna bring some big time motivational speeches into the locker room, and for that, the sports book has Kevin -1.5.
That is interesting that Kevin has given some points. Or why is Kevin is not giving any points?
Kevin claims that I am making these lines. I don't make them. I report on them. I bring them to this for people to bet on the sports book. He thinks that I'm jinxing him by making him the favorite. That is not true. I just report and then I make the lines bigger for him because of I don't make them, but I get word from where the money is going that he's a larger favorite. So yeah, the book opens at Kevin -1.5.
Wow. So I think that's an easy, especially with 1.5, taking your team in this one, especially with the breakdown. You would think in a David versus Goliath matchup that Goliath would be favored.
Yeah, you would think.
It's that little Jewish shepherd.
The sports book knows the story in the Bible. They know about old David.
David comes out on top.
The A6 Sportsbook lost a lot of money on the David versus Goliath actual matchup in the Bible. A lot of people put money on David. They won't be fooled again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They will not be fooled again.
That's why it took
David is the favorite -1.5.
It took A6 over thousands of years to get back a brand that sells shoes. They used to be huge in biblical.
Oh yeah, A6 was everywhere. A6 was everywhere.
Noah was rocking gel Contendo 3s on the ark.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only story like wrong. Like Jesus shoes, like those are actually gel Kayano 23s.
Yeah. Well, moving on to our last matchup. This one's interesting. This one is sponsored by Tim Donaghy. This is the call a fair game matchup because this is just a fair game between two opponents. No ulterior motives. Jack is locked into the 4 seed, and he just wants a good, clean game out of Monte, who is on a storybook run here. Honestly, and looking, if Bucky Irving's back, Monte's team is scary. Josh Allen, Bucky Irving, if he can be who he was, Bijan and A.J. Brown, they can definitely make this happen. Who knows what Jack's team motivation is at? They're locked in. Maybe he wants to rest the starters, but Derrick Henry, Con Williams, CD could do some damage if he chooses to risk the injury. You know, you got to consider rust versus injury. But RJ, what does the sportsbook think about this one?
This is a perfect lineup for the bank. I love it. Even he has Travion Henderson on a bye. Jack has the Niners and Tyrone Tracy. Wouldn't have even started Travion Henderson. If does he still have? If I'm the bank, I am picking up Sean Tucker. Like now. In case Bucky doesn't play, because you'd probably have to start him. But I love the Binks lineup. I love it so much. I feel like this will be one of those Josh Allen weeks that he gets 40.
He loves those cold weather games.
He loves the cold weather games. Playing Joe Burrow, like in Cincy, he would love to put them away. Yeah, I just the only thing that Jack has right now is his luck in this matchup. I don't think team-wise his team is better in any way. This I guess I haven't even talked about who's playing. CD and Jake Ferguson Thursday or today, and then we finish with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts Monday night. That will be huge if it comes down to that. That would be this will be, with the bottom 4 not playing each other and playing other like the higher up people. Monday night can get fun. A lot of big time guys having Monday night players. That being said, this matchup, the Bink is the favorite at -5.5.
I would give, based on things I've heard, I'd give the Bink -30.5. I think the Bink is hot, and I think Jack's team's a little unmotivated. Like, they know they're kind of pretenders, and they're scared of the Bink, and also they might have ulterior motives in adjusting, maybe playing God in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, if things change, some bets might need to be voided.
Really?
on this matchup, the sportsbook might decline some bets.
Wow.
For the first time ever. So who knows? But as it stands right now, even if God were to send out all of his disciples, I think they would lose.
Yeah, they'd probably be wearing, I don't know, Brooks.
Yeah.
Well, that is it. I think it is going to be a crazy, and there's some great late night matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you think about Thursday night, both teams, it might not be an average Thursday night because both teams have a whole week of rest.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be some fireworks.
Lamar is on the sit-'em list, and Dak Prescott is on the start-'em list.
Does Trevor read that?
That is the question. I never look at this anymore.
Well, that is it for the Week 14 preview. Yeah, why would you look at do you look at Stephen A. Smith's stardom sit-ems?
No, I just go off of vibes. Go off of what I'm feeling. Oh, this guy has Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift as starts, both of them.
That's crazy.
And Woody Marks as a sit-'em. Trevor, what are you doing?
Woody Marks got hurt on Sunday.
Oh, really?
I think he's listed as questionable. He did come back to play, but I don't think he did anything. Whew. Well, this is poised to be a great week of fantasy football. I am excited. Keep following along. I think that's all we have for the ASICS Sportsbook. Please make sure to get those bets in. Things are going to start getting crazy. I think there's a lot of money to be made on these lines, just looking at them. But as always, thank you for listening to Zion's Football Fantasy Football League, Fantasy Football Podcast. Please make sure to get those bets in before the Thursday night game at 8:20 EST. And be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at ZFFFL Pod on all major platforms. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always, fuck you, Trevor.